Let me just close my window. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I can't see any of you, just the nature of how my laptop is set up, but I trust that there are a number of you tuned in, and we are so happy that you are tuned in. So before we begin, let's just start out with our prayer, and we will begin tonight's meeting. So please join me, as usual, as if we were at our SSB headquarters. We do recommend you closing your eyes. And let us lift up our thoughts, our hearts, our minds, our divine creator, and the governor of our planet, our Master Jesus. For all those blessed spirits, our mentors from the SSB, and the workers of love and light, we connect our minds to you and all that is good and loving. May we utilize this vehicle, this virtual world, to comfort the hearts and minds of the many in both realms of life, also allowing us to contribute to a positive impact on our planet from a vibrational standpoint and energetic standpoint. We pray that this message from Joanna may touch all the hearts and minds of those who need it the most, especially on our planet during this time of great challenges and transitions, when death is ever present and reminding us of what is most important. So let us open up our hearts, find solace in these teachings, and so be it. Okay, once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the virtual SSB. We are so happy to have you, and though I can't see everyone's faces, I'm sure I'd like to imagine everyone is smiling, or maybe smiling on the inside. So we really hope, especially now, in these difficult times, during this ever so real pandemic, that these messages of hope can really help us and help us to ground us, because sometimes we might not even notice it, but sometimes we can be revved up, or we can be anxious, even on a small scale. You might be able to pick up, if you're self-aware enough, to notice yourself being a little bit irritated. Irritation is often not thought of as anxiety, but it is related to it. And it almost seems like nowadays, given everything that's happening, that anxiety, depression, and all of these mental illnesses are becoming so much more prominent, especially with so many transitions that are happening. But it's so important for us to take this opportunity as a lesson, as a tool, and not as a means to stir up fear within us or around us. It's important for us to remember that we are a vehicle for change, albeit we're just one person, but we never know how much we can influence one another, whether it's through our Facebook posts, what we're sharing on WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, any social media outlet, or just texting or FaceTiming friends and family, or even colleagues. It's so important at this time that we serve as a voice for calm, peace, for others to sort of feel this peace within them as well, because these are times where all our anxiety and our stress is heightened. But we are nothing by chance. And we are all children of God, as we're going to be reading a short message from this entitled book, Child of God, by Joanna DeAngelis. It's not sharing? Oh, that's weird. I have it shared here. Just one second. Are you guys seeing my PowerPoint?
No.
No.
No PowerPoint.
Oh, strange. Okay, hold on. Daniel? Okay. Yeah, now it's going. There you go. Just hit hide. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, here we are. This is from the book Child of God. It's similar to Happy Life, although this is not Child of God, but it's similar in its size. So it's a really great little pocket book to have. Like to stick it in your pocket or purse or what have you, just to have on your person anytime you need some sort of inspiration or guidance. So this is from chapter 15. Again, this book was psychographed by the medium Divaldo Franco by the spirit Joanna DeAngelis. In this particular chapter, this particular book really, but even more so right now, given what we're going through, these reminders are monumental for us, because she starts out telling us that our thoughts are seeds that sow in the soil of life. This is so important for us to be reminded of this, because we all know this on some level, being spiritist or studying the esoteric. We know that our thoughts have power, but it's so important to know how much power they have, because oftentimes, much like a small seed, a lot of our thoughts start out really small, and then one day we find ourselves amidst a big bushel of maybe plants and shrubs that we do not desire, and we might ask ourselves, how did I get here? How did my life end up here? How did I reach this mental state? Well, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. We've sown the seeds. We just didn't realize it because they were so small. And it's not uncommon. That's why it's so important for us to pay attention every day when we have hundreds and hundreds of thoughts that come to our mind. So, of course, that might seem daunting to anyone. But perhaps just at the end of every day, a really good recommendation. I know a lot of people don't like to do this, but journaling is a great way just to do sort of a reflection throughout your day, or if you prefer, reflecting, just having some time for private meditation to think about your day, how it went, and what kind of thoughts you had. And also, if you can, if you really want to be great at this, during the day, actually when things are happening, you want to be paying attention to how you feel and your thoughts, or vice versa, and how they are so incredibly connected. One second, I'm hearing noises, sorry. So it's a very simple idea. It's very basic, if you will, but it's so powerful, much like the old story of the acorn and the acorn tree. The seed itself is quite small, but what it produces is something a million times its size. And that's the same for our thoughts. That's why it's so important, especially now, enduring what we're enduring, being mindful of not watching too much news. I mean, we have to stay informed, of course, it's important. But to what extent are we going? You know, are we also finding time for our spirituality? Are we finding time to take care of our spiritual self, whether that's through exercise and meditation, yoga, prayer, attending meetings, listening to lectures. You know, with the ease of modern technology, the audiobooks and podcasts, we really nowadays do not have much of an excuse to not be connected to something positive. Because it might not be something that, you know, we're necessarily habitually doing, so it's going to take some time to reroute our thoughts or our behaviors to something more positive. Something for us to think about. But Joanna goes on. She says, each will bear fruit according to their own kind. And that's why we can't be surprised when we reach a certain point in our lives or we find ourselves in a certain emotional state, because there were many, 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 many seeds and or steps that we took to get there, both positive and negative. Sometimes we need to just begin again because you can't go back and redo what has already happened, but we can change moving forward, and that's the beauty of life. Joanna goes on to say, your life is what you think. Life will respond to your thoughts with events, sensations, or emotions. And this is absolutely so incredibly true. You know, what you think about, you bring about. Our mind is such a powerful, untapped tool that we have yet to touch the surface. What is that saying? Of what the potential it has. And even science knows this. So we have great capability. And even Christ himself said, if I can do this, you can do much more. So we know we have this co-creative power within us. We can co-create our reality, our state of mind. Sometimes we can't necessarily change everything around us. And sometimes our physiology, depending upon what's going on with us, well, we can change how we react to things, what resources, spiritual or otherwise, we choose to utilize in a positive way to benefit us, which ultimately benefits all those around us. Because when I'm at peace and I feel centered, it has a ripple effect. Everything from my dogs, my cats, although I have neither of those, unfortunately, but into our roommates, our partners, our kids, or what have you, whomever is living with us or around us, will feel that effect, most definitely. Joanna goes on to remind us that positive and stimulating thoughts will uplift you and will be expressed in life situations. So we'll be able to actually see the difference our positive and stimulating thoughts has as we're dealing with life as it comes at us. If you've ever paid enough attention to yourself when you're feeling good and centered, how you're able to manage situations versus when you're stressed and you're encountering those same situations and how you react to them. A great example of this, I was seeing my yoga teacher at her studio one morning, and we did this hour-long mix of yoga and meditation, and I had a really big business meeting that day, later on in the day, and so I was a little bit kind of worried about that, but I had a really great private yoga session. It was really great, amazing, felt so centered. So walked into my meeting, and a lot of different crazy things kind of happened, a lot of stress, tensions were high and everything that's going on. So there was a lot of big executives. And normally, I was sort of observing myself as the meeting was unfolding, as different things were transpiring, how I felt. I was noticing that I felt so calm that under different circumstances, I might have been anxious or stressed or like worried or reacting completely different. But because I had started my day with prayer, meditation, and just doing something that grounded me in a positive sense, listening to a positive podcast on my drive to work that day, completely changed my experience in that situation. So we're not saying that you have to do exactly that, but something that is positive and stimulating for you. Because for everybody, it's different, you know? As the saying goes, different strokes for different folks. Everybody needs different things. And conversely, she says, negative and depressing thoughts will oppress and distress you. They will make you bitter and will affect your behavior. Undoubtedly. That's why it's great to have someone around you who can hold you accountable. You know, I was having this conversation a while back, and forgive me for using my own personal anecdotes. I just can't think of anything else at the moment, my own personal example of my life. I was talking with a Spiritist friend many, many, many months ago, and I was expressing to this person, you know, some annoyances that I had. And this person kind of just turned to me and said, well, this is life. People come here to learn and grow. And I felt like I was sort of yanked back into reality because I was stuck in my negative, you know, thinking, just being annoyed and what have you, just kind of stuck in this negative bubble. And thanks to this person who kindly and lovingly brought me back, it was amazing the difference between night and day, how I felt and how I was acting. So it's amazing when we can have that opportunity to self-reflect on our own emotions, on our own actions. This is not about looking out, it's about looking in. I'm going to say that again. It's not about looking out, it's about looking in, inside of ourselves. So as Joanna ends her message, we sort of put them together as tips for us to take home and remember. And one of the things she recommends is for us to banish the ill or dismal thoughts you have been harboring up to now. And how do you banish ill or dismal thoughts? How do you get rid of the negative ones? Because sometimes we generally do feel negative about certain things. And I think that's totally okay for us to not like certain things, for us to be frustrated. I think it's important for us to take ownership of what we feel, but also take the opportunity to educate our own emotions, our own selves, to have a more open perspective, loving perspective of life. You know, we're all allowed to have our feelings. They're valid, just as long as we are also open to the idea that we are also capable of feeling other feelings and also being able to change our own perspective and being open to changing our perspective. So one technique that can really help if you are having these negative thoughts, one thing you can do is pray. And it could be during the day, it could be something brief when you're sitting at your home office or wherever you are in the world, or if it's trying to replace that negative thought with a more positive one. It's really good, they say, to have affirmations. I usually, at work, I don't have it here at my home office, I'd have Post-its of little positive sayings that are particular to my needs around my computer desk. So every day I see it and I'm reading it, you know, whether I'm purposely reading it or just kind of glancing over it and I just happen to read it. It's something very positive for us to sort of reroute our thought process. She says, cherish thoughts of love and you will be surrounded by waves of tenderness and affection. Dwell in thoughts of peace, and the harmony of life will echo within you. Preserve healthy thoughts. Even if you may experience a slight illness, you will not be affected as a whole. It's an amazing experience when you're able to feel emotionally and mentally well, even though you physically might feel otherwise. And this takes a great amount of work. I was trying to think of another word. Just working towards having all of these healthy, positive, uplifting thoughts. Now, we're not talking about denying the reality of what's going on in the world. Undoubtedly, it is a stressful time for everybody. And everybody, some people are going through really tough times, whether it's they're losing their jobs, and others who are actually sick and losing many family members, or whether it's just your routines being, sort of kicked off kilter a little bit. So we all have to adjust the best we can. But that doesn't mean that we can't also take this opportunity to appreciate the beauty of life and what's around us, everything to the most simplest of things. So much of Joanna's writing, she reminds us of going back to nature and connecting with nature. And through that, because everything in nature that's not been altered by man is beautifully balanced. And it's just beautiful in general, even the things that we can't quite understand. But something as simple as the other morning we were listening to the birds chirping, and it was so beautiful. The sun was just beginning to rise, and we opened our window, and you hear the birds like serenading. I can't recall the last time I've ever taken the time to listen to that. I mean, we've been living in this house for maybe 3-4 years, and that was the first time I think I've ever took the time to listen to that. So take some time to listen to nature, even if you can't really go outside, maybe opening up your window, or even listening to something on YouTube. Anything that's calming is beneficial for us and can have a domino effect in our lives. And she says, think and you will live according to the thought waves you cast out. The information seems so basic in a way, simple. What you plant, you will harvest. If I eat 10 boxes of Oreos every day, it's highly likely that I will gain a considerable amount of weight. I mean, it's basic logic. 1 + 1 = 2. Why is it so hard sometimes to change? We are creatures of habit. We've grown accustomed to the habits that we have. But now more than ever is the call for us to go inward, for us to self-reflect, to be reminded of what our purpose is here on earth and what our purpose is here on this planet. And are we taking time to really be reminded of that? It's very easy to get caught up in these waves of stress, especially whether it's on a professional level, we're really feeling it, or on the level of our family. For those who have moved here from a different country, I wonder perhaps if you are already accustomed to being not able to see your loved ones, your immediate family so often. But for those of us who have been more accustomed, we now realize how difficult it is to truly not be able to see your parent or a member of your immediate family when you really want to, but you can't because of what's going on. So and that could be a hardship in and of itself. So it's great to be reminded to have these meetings that we are all part of this family. We're all together. And ultimately, we are all children of God. And that there is divine organization and everything that's going on, even though it seems superbly chaotic and random, it is not. We may not be able to see it or know of it, but we do have this higher power in charge. So the best thing that we can do is to work on ourselves, to be the best that we can be as cheesy in a sense that can sound, or something of that nature. But that's all we have control over. It's our own emotions, our own feelings, how we react, how we deal with things. Can't change the external most of the time. Can only change the internal. And that's the call for us to go inside of ourselves. So with that in mind, we wanted to switch to our moments of visualization and spiritual passes. So Dan, I'm going to ask you just to cut that light out. Oh, I'm not sure if you guys are actually even looking at me, so maybe it doesn't matter. But if you can look at the screen and see the beautiful flowers, nature. And let's just take this opportunity to, once again, close our eyes, get into a comfortable position. I'm crossing legs and arms, taking anything off your lap that might be distracting to you, just so we can utilize this moment to meditate, to commune in prayer, higher our vibrations, and to connect with the SSB spiritual team that are working now more than ever to bring solace to all those varying degrees of stress. Let us be reminded to take time each day to ground ourselves in prayer and in our own positive spiritual practices, so we can renew our energies and reconnect to our guardian angel, our noble guides, and just the higher vibrations that these beings of light and love are putting out into the universe. We give thanks, immense gratitude to all those workers of love and light who are doing their part to spread tranquility, hope, faith. And let us imagine now, right where we are, this healing light, like a gentle shower that falls over us in a calming sensation, clearing out any negative vibrations, any negative energy that we may have inadvertently caused or attracted to. Allow the spirit doctors and workers to take this opportunity to bring us these loving vibrations as if we were at the SSB headquarters receiving the passes. Allow yourself to feel a sense of calm wash over you. Allow your heart to receive this beam of light, to be restored, so that we may find hope and peace in every moment of our lives, now more than ever. And we wish that all those who are in need, those names in our book of prayers at the SSB, for those whom we've recently received prayer requests from, those names of those who are asking for your help, dear Creator, Spirit guides of love and light. We ask that you assist those who are in need. As we may take this opportunity now to think of anyone in our family or social circle that may be in need of assistance, healing, love, let us think of them now to allow spirit doctors and nurses and therapists to go to their aid and assist them. Take this opportunity as well to pray for all the souls who passed on due to this new virus. May their souls be greeted with love and light. May all those families across the globe that are being affected, may they find hope, may they find peace, and may we be ever more loving as human beings on this planet, now more than ever. We thank you, our Master Jesus, for reminding us of your unending love and humanitarian work. Until today, echoes in the hearts of many. May we find discomfort, and may we feel peace in this moment. We thank you, and so be it. So before anyone begins to speak, I just want you to take this moment to notice how you feel. Notice how you feel in your body. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit less tense, a little bit more relaxed, a little more in tune, a little more at peace. Even if it's just in the slightest small amount. And at this time, if we were at the SSB, you should have your water beside you. And if you wish at this time, you can drink a little bit of your water and just know when you drink it with intention. Know that this is part of our therapeutic moment. We know that this water is blessed water, spiritually magnetized, unique for each individual, for each one of us. To drink it knowing that it's part of your healing, recuperation, and finding balance. So without further ado, I do wish you all a very blessed evening. Try not to turn on the news if you can help it. Try to, if you need to watch something or listen to something, let it be something positive, whether it's soft music or a positive podcast, classical music or something that's just uplifting and nice. Nothing that's going to rattle you, but something that's going to calm you down. So again, whether that's something on TV, on the radio, on your smartphone, on your laptop or computer, just be mindful. And we just have some final announcements from Daniel, and then we will be ending the meeting. Daniel?
Yes, hi everyone. Just a quick reminder. So this Thursday we will continue our study group in the book Heaven and Hell. Everybody here is invited. So if you wanted to join, you can download the PDF of the book Heaven and Hell from our website. If you don't have the link, let me know because I can send to you the link of the book. So on Thursday at 7:30 when we start continue studying the book, so you can follow us as well. Okay. Also for those that are doing the study group on Sunday, I'm in doubt with you. I'm that with you, so I have to send the next lesson. Probably if not tonight, tomorrow I'll be doing that. Okay. So if you have any question, please text us in if it's related to the SSB, you can put in the WhatsApp group. If it is something more personal, you can text us in our WhatsApp, okay? So with no further ado, I hope you guys have a great night, and may we see each other soon on Thursday. I was just looking here at the chat. I think Alba missed the visualization, but the good thing is that we recorded this visualization so we can send to her so she can redo the visualization. Okay, have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna disconnect now.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good evening.
Bye.
See you, bud.
Vou ficar silent aqui, que eu não sei. Bye.